One of the most important things that I think we can do from a government perspective, frankly, is get out of the way and empower people to live their lives in freedom. It's one of the things that sets America apart from every other country on the face of the planet, and one of the things that makes us so incredibly unique and special. Government's job shouldn't be to complicate things, but frankly to clear things out and facilitate a good environment for a business to be successful. Every corner of Arkansas will tell you one of the biggest challenges they have is meeting the workforce demands that exist. So I created what we call the workforce cabinet so that every agency within state government that has a workforce component is now forced to work together and start collaborating. We focused on education. You have to have a strong foundation and really rethinking the way that we look at education. Not just what does a student know, but what can they do when they get finished with their educational journey? Are we preparing them to step into the workforce? One of the things I'm most proud of that we were able to do in a transformational education package was our dual track diploma, where we have created a list of 18 high wage, high growth areas here in the state of Arkansas, and every high school in the state will have to offer certification in one of those 18 areas. And so we are not only helping create a high skilled, qualified workforce, but we're putting those kids in places that we know are going to be high demand here in the state of Arkansas. One of the things we're really proud of as you see the federal government continue to make things harder for families across the country, skyrocketing prices, inflation that's totally out of control, is providing relief to the people in our state. And so we've had the ability to cut taxes not once, not twice, but 3 times in the last year and a half, and really allow people to put more money back into their pockets. We shouldn't penalize somebody. The harder they work, the better off they should be. And so the more that we can provide that relief valve, we've looked for that. The way we're able to do that is being more effective and more efficient with the money that we have here in state government. We put in a hiring freeze on day 1 and we haven't broken that. I asked all of our agencies to make sure that we didn't grow the size and cost of government so that we could continue to cut taxes. We'll keep looking for every opportunity to do that until we can eventually and hopefully get our state income tax down to 0. There's honestly nothing that we can do to better help a child growing up in our state than to make sure they have access to a quality education. I'm a mom of 3 kids. I have a 7th grader, a 5th grader, and a 3rd grader, and all 3 of my kids learn very differently. So making sure that not only my family, but every family in the state has a pathway for each child to be successful is so important. It's why I'm proud we've been able to open up universal school choice that will go into effect in the next year for every single student in the state. We've been able to phase that in and really help deliver that access to the most vulnerable populations in our state and to the students that are in greatest need. But we couldn't stop there. We had to make sure that we have some of the best and brightest teachers in the classroom. So we made an emphasis on giving every single teacher in the state at least a $2,000 pay raise. We also raised the base minimum salary here in the state of Arkansas. We went from 48th in the country to top 5 overnight by increasing that salary and looking for other incentives, moving to a merit-based bonus system. We were able to award 3,000 educators with $10 million in merit-based pay just last year alone, and we'll continue to look for opportunities like that so that we are really focusing on empowering each student to have a pathway to great opportunity right here in Arkansas. You know, one of the most challenging things as a governor is fighting against an out-of-control federal government. We have a totally top-down, heavy-handed approach coming from the Biden administration. And so having to fight back is incredibly important. One of the things that I love about being a governor is there is a great sense of collegial spirit between governors where there's a sharing in best practices, but also multiple moments where we've banded together and simply said we're not going to allow the federal government to dictate things here in our state that, 1, are unconstitutional, but 2, go against everything that we stand for and everything that matters to the people that we govern. Fighting back against that, removing a lot of the barriers, getting rid of a lot of the red tape, and allowing businesses and families to thrive in their communities is so important as a governor.